All right, sounds good.
Someone sent an email saying that, have
Hey,
you
we're
guys
live.
start the bid opening? Yeah.
Yep, we're right here. Hi, hello everyone. We thank you for attending our bid opening for our sewer shoot. I'm a little less. What's our actual title of this project? Kyle, do you have that one?
Yeah, the 2025 sewer improvements.
Yep, sorry, University Place 2025 sewer improvements. I'm Jack Eklund, the Public Works Director. I also have with me Nuri Avjalar, our city engineer and deputy director. Kyle Marin, our senior project engineer. Brittany Noble, our office manager. Emmy Genetia, and our city clerk, and Deborah Nicholas, our deputy clerk. So with that, I'm going to go over a few things before I turn it over to Nuri to do the actual bid opening. One thing, I want to draw people's attention to the Q&A on the upper banner there. It's a little thing with little speech bubbles of question marks. That's where you'll be able to ask questions, and then we'll be able to see those. And also in the Q&A, Brittany will be putting in the bid amounts. Other thing is to be aware of, there is about a 2-minute lag and delay, and so sometimes there is a delay in what the video you're seeing. However, there isn't much delay in the chat or Q&A, so sometimes it may look a little funny, but I assure you there's nothing wonky about it. But if we enter something in the chat, there's no delay as per the video. So sometimes you might see a amount before maybe Nuri even reads it, but typically it syncs up pretty well. But just in case, that's what that is. But then there's also a delay sometimes for when you ask a question. Although we'll see it right away, the video is 2 minutes afterwards to be able to answer, so it may come across as a wait, but we will be answering as soon as we can. And then final thing to go over on this one, the bid is a little different. So this is a, we have various alternatives on this, and the award itself will be based on what we're able to use. We have some funds, some grant dollars to use on this. About 4.7 million is what we're looking at. We're going to look at, it'll based on of the schedules, what we're going to be able to most fund with the dollars we have available. There, I guess, could be an option for council to be able to find additional funding, but we may not know exactly because of that mix, the low bidder apparently at the beginning. There is a prioritization of the different numbers that was already published of the different areas. So we will try to follow the prioritization, but also with the goal of maximizing the spending of the funds. But Nuri will be going through the documents, but he's going to be reading each of the dollar amounts for each schedule, so everyone knows what each of the schedules are. And then we'll do the full, afterwards we're going to do a full document review and both bid tabs and verifying all the submittals are in as well. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Nuri, and he will then soon be able to turn over to open up his inbox.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nuri Avjalar. I'm the city engineer Jack mentioned, and I believe, do you see my inbox right now, Jack?
We do, yes.
Okay. Right now, under the bids tab, we have, looks like 9 emails we received. I'm going to start from the beginning right here. Like Jack said, I'm not going to go through every single detail as far as the documentation goes. I'm going to go through, read all the schedule values. The first one is, I'm going to go from the current to the earlier one. Jason says, have you started the opening yet? Yes. Sorry for a little bit of delay. And then second let me double click. It was from SCI. And then the latest one we received at 1:54 p.m. from Jared Coaster. Send a receipt. And it's a Mid Mountain Contractors Inc. is the company we received this bid from. This is the bid documents. Go through the schedules. Schedule A from Mid-Mountain Contractor is in the amount of $1,215,565.66. Schedule B is $708,264.49. Schedule C is $3,694,604.78. Schedule D is in the amount of $1,067,754.20. Schedule E is in the amount of $1,145,328.46. Schedule F is in the amount of $1,101.00. And when you put them all together, the total schedules A through F, all 6 schedules, in the amount of $7,832,618.60. And like I mentioned, I'm not going to go through the documents, and we'll be reviewing those at the end. So, okay, this
But
was.
it's good. Nuri, go ahead and just like scroll through it though, so people can see that
Sure.
the people did submit stuff though.
Okay. Here's
What
the
was Schedule F total?
Schedule F total is $1,101.00. And then the total was $7,832,618.60. And then let's go through the addendum number 3. Non-collision declaration, notice to all bidders, proposal signature sheet, acknowledge all the addendums. And these are the unit prices for each schedule. This is A, this is B total. This is C, area 8. This is Schedule D, area 11. And then Schedule E for area 12. It's filled out. And then Schedule F is $1,101. And we got the bid bond deposit. Insurance, responsible bidder determination form. And proposed equipment and manpower. I mean, that completes the bid opening for
Mid-Mountain.
Mid-Mountain Contractors, Inc. Okay. This one, close this one. And the next one is from Melissa Santos. We received at 1:50 p.m. She's from Tucci & Sons. Okay, now I need to make this one a little bit bigger to be able to see right here.
And can you read the totals a little bit slower this time?
Sure. Okay, now this is from Tucci & Sons, and Schedule A is $910,130.64, 910,130.64. Schedule B is $572,848.10, 572,848.10. Schedule C is in the amount of $2,180,941.45. 72 cents. 2,180,941.72. Schedule D is in the amount of $685,501.32. It is 685,501.32. Schedule E is in the amount of $867,081.54. It is 867,081.54. Schedule F is in the amount of $1,101.00, 1101.00. When you look at all the total schedules A through F, is in the amount of $5,217,604.32. Again, the total is $5,217,604.32. And were you able to catch those, Brittany?
Yes, thank you.
Addendums and 5% of the bid document, non-conclusion declaration. Proposal signature includes all the addendums and signed. And these are all the schedules, unit prices. This is Schedule A.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably don't need to pause after each schedule. I just show that they've done those.
Just looking at the numbers, I mean,
Yeah.
when I go slow, fast, it looks like it just goes faster on the share screen.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got this area 12. We have Schedule E. And then the total is just the total bid bond deposits. Responsible bidder determination forms included.
Yeah, looks good.
Proposed equipments and the previous jobs. Okay, that concludes. Let me finish all the way down to the bottom. Tucci and Sons proposal. And then also we receive all the local agency subcontractor list. Okay, next one is from April Rodardi. Received 147 from Rodardi Construction Inc. Set the contract, bid documents. Okay, now let me zoom into this one a little bit more. Okay, this is from Rodardi Construction Inc. and Schedule A is $1,085,195.15. 1,085,195.15. Schedule B is in the amount of $585,488.68. Again, Schedule B is $585,488.68. Schedule C is in the amount of $3,435,837.30, which is $3,435,837.30. Schedule D is $878,664.06, 878,664.06. Schedule E is in the amount of $943,468.92. Again, Schedule E, 943,468.92. And Schedule B is $1,101.00, 1101.00. And the total schedules A through F is in the amount of $6,929,755.11. Again, from Rodardi, the total bid, the total schedules in the amount of $6,929,755.11. And we got this addendum. Non-collision declaration, proposal, addendums acknowledged, and all the schedules A, B is already filled out and written ink, and this is C is included. D, area 11 is in the package, and E, area 12 is also included. And the last one is the F in the amount of $1,101. And then we got the deposit bond, insurance paperwork, responsible bidder determination form, experiences, and proposed equipment and manpower. Local agency contractor list. Okay, this concludes the bid opening from Rodardi Construction. Next one is from Tom Oblenalp from Sound Pacific Construction, received at 1:43 p.m. All right, and this is, let me zoom in. Schedule A is in the amount of $922,915.45. Schedule A, 922,915.45. Schedule B is in the amount of $561,895.35. 561,895.35. Schedule C is $2,698,048.94. Again, $2,698,048.94. Schedule D is in the amount of $700,010.30. 700,010.30. Schedule E is in the amount of $894,012.00. Again, Schedule E, 894,012.00. Schedule F is $1,101.00, 1101.00. And the total A3F bid from Sound Pacific Construction is in the amount of $5,777,983.04. Again, the total bid is $5,777,983.04. And let's look at the attachments. Non-conclusion declaration, proposal sheet signed, addendums acknowledged, and we got all the unit prices filled in for those 6 schedules. This is a B, area 5, C, area 8, D, area 14, E, area 12, F is just the last one, and then the total one, I already read this through. And the last item is the local agency subcontractor list, bidder determination form, proposed equipment and manpower, contractor certification for wage compliance, and previous projects, experience. Okay, that completes the bid opening from Sound Pacific Construction LLC. The next one is in our inboxes, Mark Skokola, received at 1:39 p.m. from scibuilds.com, actually SCI Infrastructure, and SCI Infrastructure LLC. To this. Schedule A is in the amount of $912,049.68. Again, Schedule A is 912 049.68. Schedule B is in the amount of $521,599.57. Again, Schedule B, 521,599.57. And Schedule C is in the amount of $2,423,171.90. Again, Schedule C, $2,423,171.90. Schedule D is in the amount of $692,728.28. Again, Schedule D, $692,728.28. Schedule E is in the amount of $895,153.18. Schedule E, $895,153.18. And the Schedule F is $1,101, 1101. The total A3F bids, total schedules is in the amount of $5,445,803.61. Again, the overall bid for all those schedules, $5,445,803.61. Okay, we got the addendums, non-conclusion declaration, proposal sheet has been signed, addendums have been acknowledged, and these are the unit prices for each schedule. Schedule B, Area 5 is in here. Schedule C, Area 8. Schedule D, Area 11. Schedule E, Area 12. The last one is the Schedule F. Okay, we got the deposit for bid bond. And responsible bidder determination form is included. Proposed equipment and manpower is included. Local agency subcontractor list attached. Contractor certifications and completed projects at the end. Okay, that completes the bid opening from SCI Infrastructure LLC. The next one is from Charlotte Basket, received at 1:28 p.m. and northwestcascade.com. Click on this. Okay, so we have bid documents right here. Okay, Northwest Cascade bid proposal is for Schedule A in the amount of $988,159.63. It is 988,159.63. And Schedule B is $477,468.48. Again, Schedule B is 477,468.48. Schedule C is in the amount of $2,918,335.94. Again, Schedule C is $2,918,335.94. Schedule D is in the amount of $742,607.99. Again, Schedule D is $742,607.99. Schedule E is in the amount of $831,515.93. Again, Schedule E is $831,515.93. And Schedule F is in the amount of $1,101.00, 1101.00. And the total bid for all six sections Oops, I just lost the deck. Hold on. What did I do? Sorry about that. Okay, the total bid A through F is $5,959,188.92. Again, this is from Northwest Cascade. The total bid is in the amount of $5,959,188.92. We'll look at all the signatures, non-conclusion, declaration in, proposal signed, addendums acknowledged, and all the schedules are included. This is schedule. This is the main one. This is schedule B, area 5 is included, unit prices entered. Schedule C is included and unit prices entered and totaled. Schedule D for area 11 is included as well. And this is schedule E for area 12. And lately is the schedule F is already included. Okay, now the local agency subcontractor list. Deposit for the bid bond included. Responsible bidder determination form is included. Proposed equipment and manpower is included. Previously completed projects is included. List of references. It's quite the length here, and all the equipment's listed. Okay, this was from Northwest Cascade LLC, Inc. I'm sorry. Okay, that completes this opening. The next one is Kathy Irish. We received it from at 12:41 p.m. and this bid proposal is from Pape and Sons. Zoom in. Pape and Sons Construction Inc.'s Schedule A is in the amount of $876,354.16. Again, 876,354.10. And the Schedule B is $568,947.26. Again, Schedule B is 568,947.26. And Schedule C is in the amount of $2,968,075.80. It is Schedule C, $2,968,075.80. Schedule D is in the amount of $744,824.85. Schedule D is 744,824.85. Schedule E is $801,556.63. Again, Schedule E is 801,556.63. And Schedule F is in the amount of $1,101.00 and 1101.00. And the total bid from Pape and Sons Construction Inc. for all schedules A through F is in the amount of $5,960,859.69. Again, overall bid is $5,960,852.69. Okay, let's go through the documents. We got the non-collision declaration, proposal signature signed, all the addendums acknowledged, and schedules A through F is listed. We got the deposit bid bond, responsible bidder determination forms included. And then responsible, and then we should have the proposed equipment and manpower schedule, contractor certification, wage law compliance included, local agent subcontractor list filled out with some complete projects as references. Okay, and these are all the equipments and manpower. Okay, this was from Pip and Sons Construction Inc. That completes their bid opening. Excuse me. The next one is from Anna Lear with Miles Resources. We received this at 11:55 a.m. Miles Resources proposal is attached. Zoom. Okay, Miles Schedule A proposal is in the amount of $1,103,611.57. Again, Schedule A is $1,103,611.57. Schedule B is in the amount of $578,963.05, which is 578,963.05. Schedule C is in the amount of $2,774,201.81. Again, Miles Schedule C is in the amount of $2,774,201.81. Schedule D is in the amount of $738,342.71. Again, it's Schedule D, $738,342.71. Schedule E is in the amount of $939,481.10. Schedule E, $939,481.10. And Schedule F is $1,101.00, which is $1,101.00. And the total bid amount from Miles Resources LLC is in the amount of $6,135,701.24. Again, the overall bid is $6,135,701.24. Let's take a look at the attachments. Addendum number 3, non-collision declaration is in here. Proposal is signed, executed, and all the addendums acknowledged. We got A through F, all the schedules included. This is the E. It's already filled out. And we got the deposit for bid bond form of attorney. We got the responsible bidder determination form included. Should have the proposed equipment and manpower schedules are already here. Contractor certifications, local agents and subcontractor list included, along with the completed construction projects and references and all the equipments. I think this completes all the bid proposals we received, and we also check with our IT departments to make sure there's nothing is being held up in our junk folder. And let's double check there's nothing here. And I will just turn this back to Jack Hackman. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, thanks, Nuri. That concludes the bid opening itself. Now, if you did submit a bid and you didn't see it, please send us a message. It's possible it did, even though they have checked things, it could have got hung up someplace. So you do have the opportunity. We will stick around here for questions and answers. Right now, the apparent low bidder is Tucci and Sons. However, it does, we do have to look at the available funding and what we'll be doing. Just so everyone also is aware, the areas that were, when we did the ratings and the prioritization of these areas, so this is what factors into which ones get awarded. Area 8, which in this deal is Schedule C, had the highest rated, followed by Area 2, which is Schedule A, then Area 12, which is Schedule E, then area 5, which is B, and then finally 11, which is D. So that's the general order in which we'll be prioritizing them. However, we also do have in the ballpark about 4.7 million of the grant funds that we would be using. And then there's always an option that City Council could elect to fund more if possible. But based on that, that's a general order. Our schedule of what we'll be doing, we'll be going through the bid tabs. Now, these tabs are a little longer. Brittany, do you think is tomorrow reasonable? You think you'd have the bid tabs online?
Yeah, I should be able to get them up sometime tomorrow morning.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll put them online on our website. And Brittany, put your email in the chat there if there are any. If people have any questions on how to find that on our website, it typically it's under the engineering page and then recently bid projects. But certainly reach out to Brittany. She'll put her contact information in the chat, and you can. She'll help you find that as well. In addition, we do anticipate bringing this, assuming so we'll be doing the bid tabs, we'll be checking all the documents that were submitted, and then our goal is to go to council on Monday night to recommend an award. And so that is our general, we won't have, the recommendation will be from city staff of which schedules to award, but ultimately council would have the authority to either add or delete a schedule if for whatever reason funding was such. And really funding is going to be the main consideration there. But we're not seeing any questions here, so we may wrap it up here. I think I've rambled on enough to at least have caught up a little bit to the delay. We do appreciate everybody submitting the bids, and this is an exciting project for us. I know this is a lot of neighborhoods have been clamoring for some sewer expansion, so this is certainly our biggest sewer project we've done in the city. So this is an exciting thing for us. So we're appreciative of all your guys' work on this, and we look forward to a successful project. All right, thank you so much.